So I was watching this video by Babity Kate. If you don't know who Babity Kate is, she is a content creator who specializes in video essays about the American Girl dolls as well as Disney princesses. Macho Man stuff. I know that's right. But no, she does video essays, and I found them really interesting because she talked about Kirsten, one of the American girls, and it was a deep dive. And she went in, she did all the books, she talked about the doll, and I honestly live for her a lot because she just does good content. I love a good video essay. I love a good waste of time. Lindsay Ellis is my jam. Like rewatching her "Love Never Dies" video, it's just hilarious. And ContraPoints, Archie Merch, Haley Whipjack. I love all of them. I've mentioned that I like all of these guys, but obviously, she made this video called "Who Would Win in a Fight Between All the Disney Princesses." It's like an hour and 14-minute long video about who would win in like puzzles and all that, and she did a Hunger Games scenario. I thought, who would win in the Hunger Games between all of the All Stars 10 contestants? Now, I want to put this as a disclaimer. I've decided that this world that this scenario is happening in is a simulation. They have headsets. They have they're not like it feels real, but they actually don't die or do anything like that. Like they are fine. However, the real world consequences of what they do in the game do have an effect on what happens outside of the game. So you could die first, go back living your life as normal, and it be fine. But if you're shady and you cause mischief and stuff like that, then once you take that headset off, baby, haha. Here's the thing about this whole scenario is you gotta get people to sponsor you and you gotta get people to like you. Even though it is not real, even though you are not gonna die in real life, it feels real to you. So you gotta get people to sponsor you, to like you, because in the end you're trying to win, be the last ones to survive, because you get a house on Winner's Row. It is a big deal. So they do a bunch of press tours for this stuff, all that. You get to go on Matty Morpheus' channel, or his TV show. He has a TV show in this universe. He is the Caesar Flickerman, and the one time that he decided to go on this thing, he got brutalized by Lady Camden real fast. They had T.S. Madison fill in for him during that time, and she straight up looked at the Peacekeepers and they're like, I don't want to do this next season. They're like, well, guess what? You're going to. And she looks at them and goes, oh, really? And then they said, oh, fuck, it's T.S. Madison, never mind. T.S. Madison would scare the Peacekeepers. She would be the change that Katniss, it put her in the scenario that Katniss and Peeta were in. She would do good. Instead of doing this, she'd be like, doing some weird like gang shit or something, like, or like mimic fellatio, and then instead of the do, they all be like doing a gang symbol or something. It'd be unironic too. I thought about making it the Bossy Rossi show, but I think people would tune off. I think it would kill the ratings of it because it would be Bossy Rossi. Because people don't like Ross Matthews a whole lot. Here's the thing. Sponsors. You gotta get people to like you, right? You gotta get in this simulated version of the Hunger Games. You gotta get people to like you. And Ginger Minj has done this tournament an enemy multiple times. And Mistress Isabel Brooks goes on Maddie's show and she goes, period, I just want everybody to know I'm killing Ginger Minj first. Like, that is who I'm gunning for first. And Ginger's like, really, bitch? Why? And it's because Mistress wants to break Ginger. She wants to break her real bad. But the problem is that in saying that, now she's a target of Ginger Minj's. Though Ginger statistically has not done that well in this game, she has lost all 3 times that she's competed. Once to Trixie and Katya, who both ended up winning because of their camaraderie together. Everybody was just so fascinated by it. So they even got their own spin-off TV show called Um, because in this universe, again, nothing in Drag Race actually happened. This is all just like their tributes and stuff like that. Like this is their livelihood. So Mistress also starts beef with Aja for the exact same reason. She's like, "You've already been here before too," and I was just like, "Yeah, but I've only been here twice. Like I just wanted a third chance." She goes, "I'm gonna get you." She doesn't do that to Georges because she and Georges have a relationship, and Georges, Mistress, and Lydia all get together, as well as Nicole and Carrie. Nicole because of the Brooks family legacy, and Carrie because Texas sisters. However, Mistress, Lydia, and Georges are kind of the main trio that want to be together. And we'll see how that plays out. Before Carrie leaves for the simulation, Sasha looks at her straight up and goes, "Keep Mistress at an arm's length. Don't let her out of your sight because she's going to be planning something. But don't get her in too close. Because if you get her in too close, she's going to hurt you. And you don't want that. Will Carrie follow this rule? We shall see." Nicole Paige Brooks is doing something interesting because in the beginning, not a lot of people really enjoy her. But as she's doing these interviews, as she's doing this press tour to get ready for the games, people are realizing, oh fuck, she's actually kind of like fun to be around. And so more sponsors try to pick her up. On the flip side, Phoenix isn't doing so well. She fumbles through her interview and is just kind of okay, but she's not the best. She gets sponsors, though, especially from the Atlanta pageant circuit and from the club promoters and stuff and the people that she works with. They all love her and they see the possibility in her. But the fan base at large doesn't. And that's the problem. Is Phoenix does not have the fans to win this game. She's got to kick it into high gear. Acid Betty is doing well, but just like Cynthia, she's not really a people person. So she's not really... People are excited to see her back. So they're sponsoring her because they want to see what she's going to do. But she's not really getting a whole lot. Carrie Colby's having this whole thing sponsored by Sasha, who ended up winning her tournament. She won because she was so cunt. Bosco was also getting a lot of numbers. Irene, not as much, but she was also the first out on her season. So she couldn't really say anything. She was the first out on the original thing. She was 16th place. But that was just because she tripped on a landmine. She tripped trying to get off her podium or something and blew up. So now she's back. People are not as judged to see her. Like when she took off her headset, everybody's like, "Really, bitch?" She's like, "Put it back in." They're like, "Nope." Diabetti is also kind of garnering a good amount of votes, but not a whole lot. Neither is Alyssa. Cynthia Lee Fontaine. The problem with Cynthia is that she's such a nice person, but the problem is that people know that being nice doesn't really get you anywhere. You gotta be cunty, you gotta be confident. So she's getting sponsors, but they're not really a lot there's not a lot of money going towards her because people are like, what's the point? It's basically like fodder. Well, they keep on bringing her back though because they're like, hey, it's Cynthia. Everybody loves Cynthia. This is her first all-stars season, but I mean she's doing well. I guess we should start the games now. I forgot to mention Tina Burner. She's fine. Deja Sky is also fine. Okay, let's start the games. The horn sounds. The bloodbath, nothing really happens. Denali is wanting to redeem herself from her past mistakes. She and Simone got into a brute force battle for first and second place, and Simone won. And so she's wanting revenge, she's wanting retribution, and she's studied. And that's the thing with Denali, is she is prepared for anything. Anything. So there's only a couple things that she's unprepared for, an event happening. She doesn't quite know what that is, or somebody fucking up her game. But what she does know is that she can outlast everybody because she's smart. She's ice skater. She can think. She can do stuff. She can go do everything. So she immediately runs to the cornucopia, grabs something because she knows nobody, not a near a bad bitch gonna fuck with her. As she's leaving the cornucopia, she runs into Phoenix, who also was going to go to the cornucopia to get some stuff because that's just what went through Phoenix's head. And without a second thought, Denali just and moves on. And the first casualty is Phoenix. Unfortunately for Phoenix, I feel like in all the scenarios that I ran, because I've ran several, you know me, I typed them out on my computer. I'm reading off a script right now, but in all of the scenarios that I had, she was one of the first ones out. It was either her or Ginger Minj. And I'm going to keep it real with you. Ginger goes far in this scenario, but only because I'm kind of allowing her to. Because, honestly, she was the winner of the season. Like, I want her to have some sort of storyline. But with Phoenix, there rarely is any because she doesn't get a lot of sponsor drawback. Now, she takes off her headset, she's fine, and she just goes and sits down in the loser's circle. But her body's still there. Her you know, digital corpse. Yeah, that's the first casualty. How about numbers 17 and 16? Because trust me, yeah, it's one of those. So Acid Betty and Cynthia Lee Fontaine have grouped together. I should have told you this at the start. Denali is a lone wolf, as was Phoenix, but Phoenix didn't last past the bloodbath. Acid and Cynthia run away. Olivia and Aja are both together because Mimu. Deja's on her own, Daya's on her own, Alyssa's on her own. A lot of people just are on their own. Bosco and Irene run away together. Ginger's on her own. Tina's on her own. But the triumvirate, plus Carrie and Nicole, are together. So they're gone. They're the big cheese. They're the big scoop. They're hunting together. And so Acid Betty and Cynthia Lee Fontaine have teamed up. But before we get into like their dynamic, let's talk about the triumvirate plus Carrie and Carrie and Nicole a little bit, because Sasha's done this great thing. Because it feels like they're dying, they need to eat, all of that sort of stuff. Like it's a very realistic simulation. Sasha has decided to sponsor Carrie and the group if they keep Carrie alive and Carrie doesn't run off. Otherwise, everything's gonna just zoot over to Carrie. As long as they're keeping their word and keeping her alive and keeping her safe, it's gonna be fine. And the problem is that Carrie is basically like Brickheap is what's the word? Unkillable. Because if they kill her, a lot of things are going to go down. The second that Mistress, Lydia, and Georges and Nicole take off their masks, Sasha's going to have run a smear campaign against all of them. Right. She's going to get to the highest rooftops to scream it out that, you know, they played a bad game. They got her daughter killed. So Mistress knows that can't happen. But also, she knows that it has to happen. Otherwise, she's not going to win. So Acid and Cynthia are together. And as great as Cynthia is, she's not a fighter. Acid is more of a fighter, but she's not necessarily the biggest fighter. So when they run into Mimu, here's the problem. Aja and Cynthia already have a working relationship because they went into the next into season 9 together. But the problem is that Aja can't kill Cynthia. She just can't. Like, that's her season 9 sis. Had no problem doing it then, but she has a problem doing it now. Mostly because after they both took off their headsets, they got to know each other a bit more and actually realized, oh, we're kind of puss at this. Let's fucking go. But it's a big but. With Olivia, Aja goes, I'm gonna take acid. Olivia, you take Cynthia. Olivia's not a fighter. The great thing about these duos is, apart from Acid and Cynthia, Acid is more the brute force, Cynthia is more the brains, but it is always brains and brawn. Irene is more the brawn, Bosco's more the brains, same with Mimu. Aja's more the brawn, Olivia's more the brains. But even against Olivia, I don't think that Cynthia Lee Fontaine is actually going to win. You know, I just don't think that that's going to be the key. In all of the simulations that I run, Cynthia doesn't make it because she's too nice. And she definitely goes... But Acid never really goes this early. And it's because I stuck her with Cynthia. Kind of nerfed her. Because when she's on her own, she makes it to around the top 10 and then goes because of some other bullshit that I pull. But with this, Acid Betty goes because she's up against Aja. And Aja can fight. So they both take off their headsets, they hug each other. Cynthia says something about her cuckoo, and they move on. They go eat pizza with Phoenix, and they talk about their woes. And we move forward to number 15. So, here's the thing. I didn't know where to put... These three are always so weird to me because I can't put them with anybody, but I can't put them together. But I can't... Like, they're all lone wolves. They're all running away. It's Tina, Deja, and Daya. And Alyssa. But Alyssa is doing her own thing. Alyssa has a vendetta against Daya because that last season's reunion, when they all took off their VR headsets and they all sat down and they all talked about it, Alyssa called her a bitch because Daya had killed her. And Daya straight up looks at Alyssa and goes, I've been called way worse by way better. So Alyssa has a vendetta against Daya. So she's going to hunt her. Let's see what I did there. Alyssa's going to hunt her. But that's not who I'm on about. It's Deja. Because I don't think Deja survives that long. And I think I know why. It's because of Ginger Minj. Yeah, Ginger ain't really doing a whole lot. She ain't that hot in this competition. But what she is good enough to where she can hide, because she's short enough, behind a rock. Like a little goblin. She can, like, shank somebody. You know, I think that's what she does here. She just get her. She's like that troll from that one movie. I'm not calling Ginger a troll, but it's that Cat's Eye movie where, like, he comes out of the little mouse hole. Hold on. He's spooky, huh? It's this little fucker. He's spooky. Oh, wait, no, there it is. He got a little knife. But yeah, like that's basically what she's given, coming out from behind a rock. Just, yeah, no, she does that. Deja takes off her headset, goes to sit back down. Let's talk Tina Burner on Fire Like the Hunger Games, which, well, the thing is that the Good Morning thing happened outside of the show. and we gotta talk about it because Mistress basically is now a mob boss warlord. Where instead of killing somebody, she is like King Louis. She sits in her throne and she summons people and she brings them to her to have them executed. She's like Jabba, but it's not Jabba. Like she's skinnier than Jabba. But it's the same concept. You got Georges up there as that little thing, and you got Lydia as Bib Fortuna over there. Just, oh yeah, no, we gotta get the people in. You know, she wants Tina Burner Han Solo over there, like Kryptonite. You know, not Kryptonite, whatever. What happened to him? He got turned to stone, right? It was some sort of thing that happened. Like, I remember the movie. It's him in the carbonite, right? It's carbonite. He got carbonated. I'd have to call Ben, and I really don't want to call him right now. I'm gonna do it. So he didn't fucking pick up, which is fine. It's like 11 o'clock at night, so I don't expect him to. But, she summons Tina, and when she does, she goes, you know, whatever happened to good morning, all of that. Like, it's very catty. And then she has Lydia execute her in front of her because she's a warlord now, and that's what's up. Carrie and Nicole are kind of like, whatever, you know, as long as we're safe, you know, under this triumvirate regime with actually one monarch of absolute power, which is Mistress, because they are fully treating Lydia and Georges like cronies. It's like when the Death Eaters come to Hogwarts. This is the thing. It is like that because they had the brother and the sister, the Crow twins or something, whatever the fuck those were. J.K. Rowling wrote shitty ass people into her books, but they were like the cronies of Snape for a little bit, and then Snape was a good guy. It's quite weird. Harry Potter is quite weird. I used to love it, though. And then J.K. Rowling said, and the trans must die, and everybody said, oh geez, oh no. No thanks. Including me, fuck Dobby. He deserved to die. He didn't deserve to die. I take it back. It would have been worse if I said Hedwig deserved to die. He didn't. Okay, I was looking to see if Bennett had called. Did he call back? Anyway, Diabetes. So the thing is that either Alyssa Hunter gets to Diabetes, kills her, and then goes about her day, or because even though this is a simulation, she needs blood sugar, so that way, you know, she can manage her diabetes. I don't know with this realistic simulation if she would be able to get that. She's asking for sponsors and all of that sort of stuff. By the way, Tina's taken off her headset, gone sit down. With, like, it seems so real. So, I'm going for probably Alyssa getting her before that does, because I don't want to be too sad. I want this to be fun and fresh and fun. So, we're keeping it like that, but, like, it's a possibility. In some of the things that I ran, Dia does outlast a lot of the other people, but then goddamn diabetes gets her. So I'm gonna go with the Alyssa thing, just to keep this fun. And Diabetes goes to sit back down, and we are at the top 12. At this point, Mistress has kind of created this plan. Because Nicole, for as much as people fucking live for Nicole Page Brooks, is weighing the group down a whole lot. Because she's loud, she diverts people's attention, all of that sort of stuff. And she's not really doing her job as like food collector. Not that they need any food, Sasha Colby's all that, but like if they only kill Nicole as the triumvirate, because Mistress doesn't have the foresight to include Carrie in this for some reason. If they only kill Nicole, then what will happen is that Carrie will run away. They don't want that to happen because Sasha Colby will drag her name through the mud. However, Mistress also just doesn't care at this point. Sasha's holding too much over her. So, the morning of day whatever the fuck this is, I don't even know, we hear 2 cannon shots. Because during the middle of the night, Georges and Lydia have enacted Execute Order 66. And both Nicole and Carrie take off their headsets and go join the Losers Circle. Sasha Colby and Carrie Colby both create a humongous fuss. Sasha especially goes to the game creators and goes, we need to kill Mistress now. Like, this cannot wait. We are at the top 10. Now would be a great chance. And so, they strike up an idea to get everybody together. The feast. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, and memoirs of the loved ones, the contestants' loved ones. Just like as a, you got this, pal, you know, like the little video messages. They're like the little video messages. And so, you're incentivized to go there. Denali does. Alyssa does. And Ginger does. Now, here's the thing. Ginger Minj, part of the tour is you go and you do lip sync battles. That is just how it happens. You do lip sync battles against one another. It's fun. It's catty. Nobody takes it too seriously. But Denali was on a winning streak with these lip syncs, and the final lip sync that she had to do was against Ginger Minj, and it was to the Miley Cyrus classic "See You Again." I'm going somewhere with this. Just like in All Stars 10, Ginger Minj beat her in that lip sync. And the vibe was Denali, but President Room enjoyed Ginger more. Because she's a production favorite. So, when Ginger is picking up, you know, her food and stuff like that, Denali finds her. And Ginger has to take off her headset and go back to the Losers Circle and sit and eat. All because Denali wouldn't have killed her if she had won the See You Again lip sync. In fact, Ginger probably would have still been in the competition up until the final 4, which does happen. I've ran a scenario where that does happen. She still hasn't won any of these scenarios, but it does happen that she makes it farther than the top 10 because she lost the lip sync to See You Again. That is the factor that I am putting in here, that she beat Denali in this, so therefore Denali kills her. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. So, with that being said, we are now at the top 9. Aja knows full T that it is not okay for both of them to go and be sitting ducks, which, by the way, she says fully, you know, fuck Anitra, fuck the ducks, all that sort of stuff during season 15. Instead of walk that fucking duck, it was shoot that fucking duck, because they had bow and arrows. Season 15's had a lot of, like, hunting and stuff involved, which is how Anitra was able to outlast, because she would just shoot ducks and eat them, until a giant duck monster came and completely killed her. God, I hope something like that doesn't happen to somebody that you love in this. I hope that nobody gets, like, fireballed by somebody. That'd be awful. Or to two people that you love. That'd be terrible. This is what we call foreshadowing, and it happens very, very frequently. But no. They design the feast, and Aja decides that one of them's gotta stay back at base camp just in case they get raided. Because she's seen Denali lurking on the outskirts like a goddamn phantom. And she's also seen Bosco and Irene around somewhere, who are just trying to survive. Bosco is helpful at gathering stuff, and Irene is helpful in building stuff, but neither one of them really know what they're doing. And Bosco can serve as much cunt as she possibly can, but they don't have any kills yet. Lydia has... Well, okay, she's only killed Tina Burner, but... And Georges has really only killed Tina Burner. Honestly, they're not doing that great in kills either. Denali has 2. Phoenix and Ginger. Ginger had 1, Deja. Mimu has technically 1 each, but 2 in Acid and Cynthia. And then... Yeah, Tina's dead. Alyssa has 1, and that's Diabetes. And who else was it? Oh, yeah, no. Lydia has 2. Because, technically 3, because they could Carrie and Nicole. As well as, fucking Tina Burner. But, let's discuss what happens. So, Aja sends Olivia to go ahead and go to the feast, get what they need, and come right back. Don't stop to talk to nobody. Be discreet about what you're going through. All that. And she really shouldn't have. Because Olivia, again, is not the smart girl. Well, she's a smart girl. She's not the fighting type of girl. And almost immediately as she leaves camp and is out of sight of Aja, Lydia and Georges ambush and make quick work of Olivia Lux. Olivia takes off her headset, goes sits back down. As she leaves, she pats Aja on the shoulder and goes, "You got this." And that's how Aja knows that, oh fuck, Mimu is now just me. And she realizes who did it pretty fast. Because Mistress Isabel Brooks has changed her ire since she was not allowed to kill Ginger Minj. She's now going after her rival Aja because Aja and her had beef. What is this beef? Honestly, Mistress started it, and Aja has no idea why. But it made good TV, and she was kind of here for it. But now Mistress is taking it to the game. So, Aja, something breaks in her when Olivia gets killed. She's got to go start her warpath. Oh boy, y'all aren't ready. Let's talk about Alyssa Hunter, because she's kind of the last thing that we need to wrap up. In certain scenarios, I have her being killed right after Diabetes, but I think that here, she's on the run just long enough to where she meets up with Bosco and Irene, and they don't want to kill her. They don't want to kill anybody, but she stumbles into their camp, and they get really fucking freaked out. Until Denali comes along and just kills her straight up, just walks up to her, and then, like a serial killer, turns around and, like fucking Jeff the Killer, it freaks me out thinking about it, stares directly at them. So both of them are running. They're running in opposite directions too. They're like fucking Scooby-Dooing it. Just so, back to Aja. Because Aja's not done, she is like the Grinch, she is stewing. And she decides that this will not stand, this will not pay. I must avenge Olivia Lux. But where to start? Because you can't immediately go for Mistress. You just can't. That's an unobtainable justice. But you can go for one of her cronies. However, Lydia has proven, especially in season 17, though she did lose to Sam Starr, because Sam went absolutely fucking feral on them, that she's no slouch. And Aja knows this. And neither is Georges. However, Georges has one fatal flaw, and that is that she cannot pay attention to save her life. And I take that because she did not know that she was going to be crowned on All Stars 10 when it happened. So Aja had to let her know that, like, hey, baby, they're going to crown you after Ginger is crowned. We have another crowning to get through. And Georges was so happy after seeing that. So I don't think that... I think that she's a great fighter, but I also think that she gets distracted sometimes. And she doesn't quite know what's going on around her. It may also be because of the weed, because let's face it, she smokes a lot of weed. So by the time that Aja knows that if she can catch Georges at the right time, she can make quick work of her, and that's exactly what happens. Georges takes off her headset, goes to lay down. Now, Aja is on a mission, and to do that, she basically does a "you're next" to Mistress, like a mafia movie. She like puts the dead horse in the thing, except for it's just George, it's just Georges. Like the glitchy, like spammy digital corpse of Georges is just there, glitching out because it's not supposed to be there anymore. It's debugged. Because Aja just picks it up and like she goes, "You're next." And Lydia is doing the math in her head and realizes, oh god, we're at the final 6. And everybody is skedaddling. I need to skedaddle because Mistress could immediately turn on me. And I don't know if I can take her in a fight. I probably could, but I don't want to, because I look up to Mistress. She's iconic. So when she sees that Aja is staring down the barrel at Mistress, Lydia gets wise and leaves. She bolts out of there as fast as possible. And Mistress looks at her like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, help me out here. Do this. Like, kill her. And for once, Lydia just goes, nah, I'm good. And she runs. And Mistress, the way that even though it is a simulation, they have to blur what happens after Lydia leaves. The crowd has never seen anything like it. Mistress takes off her headset and is immediately the talk of the town. In a good way and in a bad way, because a lot of people were so thoroughly entertained by what she did. But another part, especially Sasha Colby and the people that she's gotten to rally up against Mistress, oh, buddy, it's a lot. And luckily, Mistress just doesn't give a shit about what they have to say. She goes, I ate them up. I did what needed to be done. She didn't even apologize to Carrie. She looks at her and goes, it's the name of the game. And everybody's kind of on good terms except for Sasha and Mistress. They kind of hate each other. But then Sasha realizes, oh, fuck. I put in for something to happen so that way Mistress could die. Let's stop that because Mistress is now dead. So she bolts up to the thing and it's already in motion. Denali is a great... is the assassin. Like, she's assassin a bunch of people. But it is because she's been able to plan and do all of that. However, when a 10-foot tall, 2-headed dragon with the heads of Merle Ginsburg and Santino Rice shoots up out of the ground right where she is, she didn't plan for that. Merle Ginsburg's head immediately shoots a fireball at her, and Denali takes off her headset. I bet you didn't see that one coming. I got your ass with that one. Yeah, Denali wins in 92% of these. Because she's just good at the game. She assassinates everybody and then moves forward. I had to do this. I had to nerf her so that way we could actually get a solid winner. Santino's head shoots like propaganda and bad vibes and stuff like that. It also shoots acid. Another problem. Now we're down to a top 4. Bosco, Lydia, Aja, and Irene the Alien. And I'm going to keep it real with you. Out of the 4, Bosco ain't doing much. Especially when the dragon catches up to her. Yeah, she didn't get very far. Denali decided to chase her down because she thought she was the biggest threat. So when Denali gets incinerated by Merle Ginsburg, Santino's head looks directly at where Bosco's hiding and lobs a big spew of his acid everywhere. And the trees are also melted with acid. Bosco has to take off her headset. She's not as mad about it though, because like, hey, at least she didn't die first. But now we have a top 3, and Irene is doing what is smart. She has a brain about her. She decides, I'm gonna go hide in the cornucopia, and let Aja and Lydia fight. And that's exactly what they do. They do fight. And it is bloody, it is a battle, but in the end, I feel like Aja comes out on top. Because she has something to prove. She has 3 kills thus far. It's all of the triumvirate. Actually, no, 4. Technically 5 because of Cynthia and Acid. But she's here. Like, she's here, she's trans, she's queer, get used to it. She's here. And then Irene pops out of the cornucopia. And Irene has 0 kills. It would be so easy for me to go, Irene loses, Aja wins. Because, honestly, yeah, that's probably what would happen. But you gotta take into consideration, she's killed 5 people at this point. Technically 4, because she just took on Acid Betty. But she gotta be tired. And Irene has not really done a whole lot. Yeah, sure, she ran, but she didn't get chased by a dragon, which is gone, by the way. The dragon, after Bosco died, everybody's like, okay, we got a final 3. Let's yeet the dragon back up. But she didn't have to run from the dragon because the dragon wasn't really near her. And also, she hasn't killed anybody, so she hasn't had to exert force. So even though Aja puts up a desperate, and I do mean desperate, fight to stay alive, I honestly think that Irene comes out on top because she didn't have to fight as hard for it. So that means that the winner of this Hunger Games simulation, the one that gets to enjoy the meat lover's pizza instead of just the cheese, is Irene the Alien. She takes off her headset, everybody cheers, she gets put into the Hall of Fame shit, and everybody's happy. Except the fan base. The fan base wanted Denali to win. And they're really mad at not only the game makers, but Sasha Colby. Because Sasha Colby wanted this to happen. So are they going to send her back into a game? We'll have to see on All Winners, but no. Instead, they basically are just like, man, it's kind of anticlimactic, but also it's sort of new. Irene didn't make it far on her original season, and now that she's won this one, mostly because she's stuck by Bosco, everybody kind of has some respect for her. Everybody has respect for Aja. Mistress has some respect to put on her name again because, hey, it's all a game. Everybody leaves happy. Except for the majority of the fan base. But, you know, at least Ginger didn't win, you know. If you want me to do more seasons like this, let me know. Again, it was all a simulation. Everybody had fun. Everybody's great. Love everybody. What do I want to convey to the children? To the people who are watching this? I know tomorrow I get to go to the zoo, which is fun. I haven't been to the zoo in a while. My mom hasn't been to the zoo in a while. We're gonna do a Mama Bennett and Jacob adventure, and it should be like awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna go bed now. It's almost midnight, and I gotta be up by not up by 11, but I need to be at the zoo by 11. So I gotta skiddity skedaddle. I don't know when my next video is going to be. This was an impromptu video of just me typing it out and thinking about it. I want to do the lip sync ranking, but I'm going to be completely real with you. That's what this was supposed to be, and I instead made it into a Hunger Games tournament. So we shall see. As far as Slays and Royale goes, I have been keeping up with it, but I haven't been watching it. I'll be completely honest, it does look like we're going to have a top 5 of all Filipino queens, and the rest of them are going to be eliminated. Also, I wish that Yuhua would do a lot more and get a lot better. I'm tired of her being safe and low all the time. I want her to win. Because she's the American in this franchise, and god damn it, I mean, I know everybody, but like, she's the one that I knew going into this. You know, I had watched the season that she was on. Same with Something, same with Ivory, but you know, like, I watched the first episode of Philippines season 3, but that's because it was free on YouTube. Honestly, my favorites right now are Venus is definitely a good one. Arizona Brandy's a good one. Suki is good. I enjoy Suki. I enjoyed Ivory. Also, Kitty Space was so robbed. Anyway, also congratulations to Mami Wacha. She won France All Stars Season 1. Live for her. Wanted her to win. What did you guys think of this video? Again, take everything as fun. I will see you guys later. Bye.